Bailey, I'm about to get on the plane.
Hey, Trent. I hope you have a safe flight, sweetie. I just arrived at my sister's place.
I'm glad you got there safely. But, I gotta say, I really am sorry about how the timing ended up working out here. I never thought things would go down this way. Can you believe I'm leaving my 7-month-old pregnant wife to go on an overseas business trip? I'm really sorry, honey.
What choice did you have? Your company needed you to be on that plane, so it can't be helped. You don't need to apologize for being a hard worker, Trent. Besides, it was always decided from the get-go that I'd be having the birth at my sister's place while she looks after me. The business trip itself is only going to last like 5 days, right? I think you'll be surprised at how fast it flies by. It'll be over in a jiffy.
I guess you're right. If these business talks go well, I'll finally be able to get the ball rolling on expanding my business overseas. Complaining won't do me any good. So I'll do what I can to see to it these talks go by as swiftly as possible, so I can get back home to be with my heavily pregnant wife.
Woohoo! That's the spirit. Anyway, don't you have a plane to catch soon?
Holy pork-fried Jesus balls, you're right! Alright, I'm going to switch my phone off, but I'll turn it back on again and let you know when I land.
Great. Safe flight, babe. Hey, Trent. Can you believe it's been 10 whole years? Oh, it's me, your sweet love muffin, Angelica. I found your name by chance online when I looked you up out of boredom. Isn't the internet crazy? I couldn't believe it when I saw all those special feature articles on you. My jaw almost hit the floor. You really did make good on the promise you made me back then, huh? All right, Sugar Pumpkin, let's get married. Where are you living these days? I don't know your address, so I decided I'm going to treat you to a nice little surprise by coming to see you at your company HQ. You know, the company where you work as the CEO. Hope you don't mind, sweetie, but I found the address online. Tell the girls at the reception desk that your future wife is on her way so they don't get a shock when I turn up. Okay, babe. See you soon. Trent, are you for real? You got married already? Is this some kind of a sick joke? When I turned up at your company, I told the receptionist I was the future wife of the CEO and tried to get her to take me to your office. She just said, "You're not the CEO's wife," and gave me the coldest look anyone's ever given me. Ugh, the rudeness of some people. I was so shocked it took me a few minutes to get my bearings back. When I did, I started doing some digging on social media from the car park, you know, on our old classmates' pages, our seniors' pages, and our teachers' pages. And when I did, I found out you got married to that goddamn loser Bailey. I mean, geez, Trent, I always knew you were a gloomy loser with no redeeming features other than your impressively high grades back then, but I still can't believe you'd marry someone like Bailey, who seemingly defied the laws of nature by somehow being lower down the school pecking order than you were. Oh, is that it? Did you become convinced the only kinds of girls you were a good match for were the gloomy goth girls with breath like garbage disposal centers and worse hygiene routines than cave trolls after I, the most popular girl in school, broke up with you? Oopsie. Well, I guess this is technically my fault then. But, on the bright side, baby, if you marry me instead, you can finally break free of your trauma and move on. Okay, it's officially decided. You're divorcing Bailey. After that, me and you are going to get back together and remarry. Make sure you tell Bailey what's happening, okay? Bailey, it's been 10 years. It's me, Angelica. Is now a good time? I need to talk to you about something. Huh? Angelica? Oh, that is weird. I thought I deleted your number, but it still displays your name. What? You deleted me? Well, it has been 10 years. Besides, to be honest, I didn't think we'd ever be speaking again. I'm really surprised you're messaging me, actually. Whatevs. I guess I'm chill with that. Anyway, if we got into that, we'd get distracted from the real reason I reached out to you today, so I'm willing to let it slide. Did you want something? I need you to break up with Trent immediately. Excuse me? Me and him decided to get back together. Wait, you did what now? Oh, come on. I won't let you pretend you don't know about our relationship. Well, sure, I know you and Trent were dating at one point, but that was just for a month while you were back in high school, right? There's no way he'd take you back after the way you dumped him. I didn't even know who you were back then, but the whole school heard about how you said all those awful things to him before dumping him in front of his friends. About that. It turns out Trent remembered everything I said to him back then. Then he used my harsh words as motivation to improve himself for the better, worked super hard for 10 years, and finally became a high-spec winner worthy of my hand in marriage. Isn't that romantic? This only proves his heart is overflowing with pure, boundless love for me and no one else. This is usually the kind of thing that only happens in the movies, which should tell you just how serious he is about winning me. That's why I decided to give him another chance, so we're getting back together. Which means, sorry babe, but you're nothing but an obstacle in the way of our path to happiness now. So would you mind, doing us both a favor and pulling a vanishing act? Okay, thanks. How long have you and Trent been messaging? Since this morning. Wait, what? So only for a few hours? Well, sure, I guess, but time is no obstacle for a romance like ours. We met up for a sweaty lovemaking session to consummate the flame of our passion straight away. I promised I'd marry him one day if he ever made $750,000 a year. A 10-year gap might sound like a long time, but love like ours wouldn't disappear just because we didn't see each other for a while. Do you understand? Now listen carefully. This is a direct order. Hurry up and break up with him. Do it now.
Bailey, are you okay?
Trent, hey, I'm okay. Your flight landed safely then?
Yep, and I just turned my phone back on.
This is about Angelica, right? She messaged me too.
You serious?
Yep, dead serious. She told me to break up with you.
Why would she be doing this after all this time?
She said she's willing to give you another chance after realizing you remembered what she said back when she broke up with you in high school. She seems to think the reason you've been working so hard these last 10 years was to win her back.
What?
She said she met up with you today and had... Well, let's just say she's claiming you guys had an encounter of the intimate variety. She said she promised she'd marry you if you could prove yourself to her by making $750,000 a year.
She said what now? Like hell we did that. I've been on an international flight all day. What the hell? How does she suppose I met her despite it literally being physically impossible? I didn't even respond to her messages.
It's fine, relax, Trent. I know you didn't do anything. She's just lying to try and get me angry enough to divorce you, right?
Of course. Yep, you're right. That's gotta be it.
But what does she mean with this $750,000 thing?
That? I think she's talking about what she said when she broke up with me. She said if I ever became successful enough to make $750K a year, she'd marry me. But she was only doing it to mock me. There's no way a loser like you could ever make $750K a year, was the last thing she said to me.
She said that to you? Jeez, I've heard of people getting it wrong before, but a miscalculation of those proportions? She doesn't know you at all. God, that dumb hoe. You wait till I get my hands on her.
Thanks for getting mad and defending my honor, babe. But you should be careful. Getting all worked up like that could have a negative influence on the baby. So, please relax, okay?
Oh, good point. You're right. Okay, I'll be careful. But she seems to think you fulfilled this promise you made to her. Why would she think you make $750,000?
I have a sneaking suspicion. I think I know what she's talking about. Listen, Bailey, we don't want any of this stuff with my psycho ex-girlfriend having a bad influence on the baby. So, I want you to ignore all of her messages, okay? Actually, scratch that. Just go ahead and block her.
Are you sure?
You're staying with your sister out of state right now, so it's not like there's any risk of her barging her way in and making a scene or anything. I have to put this inexplicable rampage of hers to an end. Leave this one to me.
All right, got it. Don't overdo it yourself, Trent. You still have the company to think about. Hey, I finally found out where you live, so I went out of my way to drive all the way down there so you could have the privilege of living with me. Only to find you frickin' moved? What the hell do you think you're playing at here, Trent? And why are you ignoring me? Isn't that a little horrible?
It's been a while, Angelica. Good timing. I'm glad you're messaging me now, actually.
Huh?
When you say you found my address, do you mean the apartment by the underpass in Garlic Heights in Westglade City?
Yes, I do. Why would you move without saying a word to me? You are despicable, and this is so not acceptable. I banged on the door and rang the buzzer until some old dude from next door came out and went crazy at me for being noisy. All of the neighbors came out and started staring at me because of the racket he was making. Talk about public humiliation. Do you have any idea how much you've embarrassed me? Why would you move all of a sudden without telling me? This is downright wrong. Go on, I'm waiting. I need an explanation. Right now.
All of a sudden? I moved 3 months ago.
Huh?
Besides, what obligation did I ever have to keep you up to date with my private affairs in the first place?
But how can you be serious about wanting to marry me if you can't even message me properly? The only reason you followed through on your promise to me to become a high-rolling stud muffin on $750K a year was so you could have my hand in marriage, right?
No. I don't make $750K a year.
Huh?
If, by any chance, did you confuse my salary with my company's annual turnover?
Annual turnover? What does that mean?
Based on your first few messages, it seems you found out everything you know about my current situation through a few articles on the internet. There's nothing in any of the articles about my salary, but one of them does include my company's annual turnover from last year. And it just so happens it was $750,000.
Annual turnover?
Yes, it means the company's total revenue for the whole year. None of the articles say anything about my salary, which means I'm guessing you just saw the $750K figure, mistook it for my salary, then let your fantasy spiral out of control before spamming me and my wife with a slew of unhinged, delusional messages.
Huh?
Why don't you try taking another look at the articles you read?
You mean you don't make $750K a year? But what about your promise to me?
Promise? Are you actually insane? I don't want us to get back together. And I never promised you anything.
Oh my god, what the hell?
So, yeah, I don't make $750K a year, since pocketing my company's entire annual revenue would kind of be illegal. The company's still small, so me personally, I don't actually make that much at all, not even close.
What? No way. But I need you to make that much. I'll be in serious trouble if you don't.
Why will you?
Because.
Let me guess. Because you can't pay off your debts. Forgive me for doing this behind your back, but you kinda left me no choice. I had an old classmate do some digging on you to see if we couldn't figure out why you'd showed up out of the blue, acting so crazy after we hadn't spoken for 10 years.
Huh?
First, there's the debt you owe the male strippers for your regular champagne-fueled visits to that shady club on 5th Street. Then, there's the compensation you owe your husband, who you divorced 3 days ago, for cheating on him 3 times across a span of 8 years behind his back, with the gardener, the electrician, and the pizza delivery guy. Then finally, to top it all off, there's the debt you originally owed to one of your relatives.
Ugh. Oh crap, oh crap, oh crap, oh crap!
Yeah, I guess it makes sense you'd be panicking like hell right about now. The way I see it, your little scheme here had two aims. First, you wanted to bag yourself a rich guy to pay off all of your debts and to get you out of the huge mess you'd gotten yourself into. Second, in doing so, you wanted to secure yourself a life of riches and luxury and never have to lift a finger again for the rest of your life.
But how do you know all of this?
Do you really not know what our classmate's nickname for you was?
Huh? Nickname?
The gold-digging bimbo.
What?
You even went as far as contacting my wife, making up some pile of crap story about how we met up and got it on in an effort to try and make her divorce me. You're so cursed. My life is sure to take a turn for the worst if I allow you to have any part in it. So, please, leave us alone and never attempt to contact either of us again.
No way. Oh, this can't be happening. Wait. I'll really be in trouble. I mean it. My mom and dad disowned me, so I can't even go back to live with them. Please, Trent, I have nowhere to go. I'm gonna be homeless.
God, you're so annoying.
Huh?
You left me no choice. You, Miss Gold Digger, are about to get blocked. Boom.
Oh my god. Trent, don't call me that. Hang on a sec. Did you actually block me? No! I just told you I'm gonna be homeless, for crying out loud. Do you have no heart?
Angelica, while saying she had nowhere to go, showed up at my parents' house and tried to barge her way in. Fortunately, they didn't live there anymore, having moved away months ago. The house was empty now, and it was through their old crazy neighbor that we heard about the distressed, crazy lady seen being taken away in the back of a cop car. Next, she went to my wife's Bailey's parents' house. Apparently, she lived in the same neighborhood as Bailey back in high school. So, relying on that old memory, she made her way to where she thought my wife's parents lived. In another hilarious twist of fate, she got it wrong again and ended up at a total stranger's house. After banging on the door in a frenzy like a escaped mental patient, she demanded that the poor, confused man, who had simply been trying to eat his Fruit Loops in peace, immediately bring out Bailey. Needless to say, he called the cops, and she was taken away in the back of a black and white car with sirens on it once more. This time, the cops involved her parents, but since they hadn't changed their minds about disowning her, apparently she ended up getting dropped off at an acquaintance's restaurant. I don't know what kind of work she does there, but rumor has it that the restaurant is actually a front for an illegal night business involving scantily clad women and poles. And apparently, strange, dangerous-looking men can be seen frequently in the place until the early hours of the morning. Last I heard, she's at her physical and mental breaking point. And her life now solely consists of working ungodly hours for less than minimum wage, like a soulless robot, to dig her way out of the hopelessly large mountain of debt she's in.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and hit the like button. See you next time.